I want to be real with you for a minute because this part really matters. Friend, I used to hate credit cards, and I don't mean dislike them. I mean, I was genuinely scared of them. I would hear all these horror stories. People buried in debt, balances growing faster than they could keep up, interest stacking so high they couldn't breathe. And I told myself, nope, not me. Those are evil cards. And I decided the safest thing to do was just to avoid credit cards as much as humanly possible. And honestly, I don't blame myself for thinking that way because a lot of people were never taught how credit actually works. They weren't shown strategy or structure, just handed a card and expected to figure it out. And the damage from that can be very real. And if you are sick and tired of credit card debt, it's time to organize your finances so you can stay debt-free. And this is exactly what this episode is about. Let's dive in. If you're tired of debt calling your choices, bills running your day, and groceries eating your paycheck, and ready to finally live life on your terms, debt-free, guilt-free, and unstoppable, welcome to the Simple Money Systems podcast. I'm Diana, a mom caring for a special needs son, a creator of the two-line budget, a believer in big dreams and God-given purpose. I help overwhelmed women break free from debt, unlock their cash flow, and step into the peace, confidence, and clarity God designed for your life. And maybe catch a weekend escape. Because when money becomes simple, your whole life opens up. And I'm here to show you how. And before we get to it, let me share something simple but powerful. If you'd love to save $1,378 in just 1 year without even noticing it, and you're okay starting with just $1, this is for you. I put together a 2026 weekly savings planner that walks you through exactly how to do this, step by step. Every Friday, you'll see how much to set aside that week and how much you've already built. No overwhelm, no math headaches, just steady progress, okay? It's designed to fit right in your weekly planning and budgeting rhythm. So saving becomes something you do, not something you stress about. And if you want it, you can send me an email at dianagalas.com. It's DIANA at DIANAGALAS.com, and I'll make sure you get it. Or even easier, just grab the link in the show notes below this episode and join the email list to receive it automatically. And I know you're gonna enjoy using it. And more than that, I know you're gonna love watching those small, quiet dollars turn into real momentum. Okay, let's go back to the credit cards. Oh, yes, I gotta love it. But here's what I learned the hard way. Friend, even when you try to avoid credit cards, it is so easy to fall into the trap of convenience and immediate gratification, especially when life keeps throwing emergencies your way. And if you're a mom of a special needs child, you already know exactly what I mean. Because emergencies don't wait until your budget feels ready, right? Medical appointments, therapies, last-minute supplies. car trouble that magically shows up the same week everything else goes wrong. It's like life says, let's see how much she can handle this week. And that's usually how credit card debt starts. It's not because you're reckless, not because you're irresponsible, but because you're trying to take care of your family in real time. And the card gets swiped just this once because it feels like the fastest solution. And then another emergency pops up, and another, and before you know it, the credit card you once avoided is suddenly part of everyday life. And here's the truth I want you to hear clearly today. Friend, credit cards don't have to be scary, and debt does not have to live in your home forever. Debt can be evicted, and it doesn't require extreme measures or financial gymnastics. It just needs clarity, strategy, and simple systems that actually fit real life. Often, managing your finances can feel overwhelming, especially when credit card balance starts stacking up and stealing your inner peace. High interest rates, minimum payments, and that constant low-level stress can make it feel like your money is running your life instead of supporting it. But friend, there is a way to take your power back, and it doesn't start with a perfect budget. Because this isn't about a list of steps on a spreadsheet. No, this is about real life, messy life, mom life, special needs mom life, the kind where decisions happen fast and emergencies don't RSVP. There was a time when I truly believed that getting my finances together meant having the perfect budget. You know, the kind color-coded categories, then tracking every single penny, fancy apps, aka distractions. Yes, my phone apps are just distractions. Then spreadsheets that looked impressive but made my head hurt. And honestly, the approach exhausted me before I even started. And I didn't need more complexity. What I need, it was clarity. That's when everything changed. I realized I didn't need to track everything. I just needed to track the right things. That's where my 2-line budget was born. Just 2 lines. That's it. No 47 categories, no guilt, no shame, just simple, clear visibility. And friend, visibility is powerful. And also, before I could move forward, I had to pause and really look at where I was. Not judge it, not panic over it, just look. And I asked myself a few simple questions. What's coming in? And then what's going out every month, no matter what? And what am I spending daily without really noticing? And this wasn't about perfection. It was about honesty, because you can't build a plan on guesses, right? Now, the first line of your 2-line budget is your monthly bills. These are the expenses that show up whether you are ready or not. Your rent or mortgage, utilities, your insurance, phone and internet subscriptions, minimum debt payments, all of this. And when I finally listed this out in one place, I had a moment of, oh, so that's where it's going. Not in a scary way, but rather in a grounding way. All right? And this line gave me stability. It showed me what had to be covered first before anything else. And for the first time, I stopped pretending I had extra money before my bills were actually paid. Then the line 2, and this one was eye-opening. My daily purchases, my groceries, gas tank fill-ups, coffee runs, Target trips that were just for one thing, then pharmacy stops, convenience spending during emergencies. And let's be honest, if you're a mom of a special needs child, emergencies feel like they happen every other day. And this line isn't about restriction, friend. It's about awareness. When I saw my daily spending clearly, I finally understood why money felt tight even when my income hadn't changed. These weren't bad purchases because they were my unplanned ones, all right? And this unplanned spending is where credit card debt quietly sneaks in. And once I could see it, I could finally make intentional decisions instead of reactive ones. Now I want to share something where real magic started to happen. I didn't add hours of budgeting to my week. No. What I added is 2 tiny habits that fit into my real life. I call them my morning power hour and before bed honor hour. Friend, don't let the names scare you. They're not an hour long, okay? Every morning, before the day runs me, I check my bank balance, just a quick glance. Without deep analysis, okay? Just awareness. I start the day knowing what's available. And then at night, I check again. I honor the money I spend the day by simply looking at it. There is no judgment, there is no spiral, just okay, that's what today cost, okay? And that's it. These 2 moments gave me more clarity than any complicated budgeting system ever did. And friends, clarity creates confidence. And then confidence creates consistency. And consistency changes everything. And as I stayed consistent with my 2-line budget and daily check-ins, something surprising happened. That stopped feeling like this big, scary cloud hanging over my family. It became my simple math. Believe me, I only use plus and minus sign and the simplest calculator I can find. And by the way, I still can't figure out my high school kiddos back in the days, the scientific calculator they were using. And anyways, anything complicated isn't my thing. And then my 2-line budget became the strategy. And it became my plan. With this, I could see where emergencies were pushing me toward credit cards. I could see when convenience was tempting me. And because I could see, I could adjust. Because friend, debt doesn't need drama. It just needs direction. And for the longest time, debt felt loud and emotional, like this constant background noise in my life. Every swipe came with guilt. Every statement came with fear. And I would replay this story in my head. How did I let it get this bad? What if I never catch up? And when you're a mom, especially a special needs mom, right? There is already enough emotional weight on your shoulders. And that doesn't need to add to that, okay? The moment things began to shift wasn't when I made more money or found a magical solution. It was when I stopped reacting and started directing. I stopped treating debt like a personal failure, and instead, I started treating it like a problem that needed a plan. Once I gave it direction, clear numbers, simple steps, and a steady rhythm, the drama faded. No more spiraling, no more shame, just calm, intentional progress. Because that isn't a reflection of your worth or your ability as a mom. It's just math, simple, add and subtract, waiting for a leadership. And when you give it direction, peace has room to move back in. And it didn't happen with one big dramatic moment. There was no confetti, no sudden "we are debt free" announcement, no overnight miracle. It started quietly with me paying attention, really paying attention. And for the first time, without fear or avoidance, I began noticing what was coming in and what was going out, and how often I was reaching for the credit card without even realizing it. And then I started planning ahead in small, doable ways. Nothing fancy, just asking myself, what's coming up next week? What might we need? How can I prepare without panic? And as I did that, awareness grew. Awareness of patterns, awareness of triggers, awareness of how much power I actually had when I slowed down and stayed present with my money. And little by little, things changed. Balances stopped growing. Payments started making a dent. Emergencies didn't feel as explosive because I was expecting life to happen instead of being shocked by it. And debt didn't disappear overnight, but it started packing its bags. Month by month, choice by choice, I was evicting it from my home. No yelling, no shame, no chaos, just simple strategy, just steady, intentional progress. And with each small win, peace moved back in. Because, friend, when you lead your money with calm and clarity, that loses its grip and your home starts to feel lighter again. And here's the part I wish someone had told me sooner. Friend, you don't have to do this alone. I want you to hear this clearly because it matters more than any strategy or spreadsheet. You were never meant to figure money out by yourself. I tried doing it alone for a long time, carrying the stress quietly, thinking I had to have it all together before asking for help. But money feels even heavier in isolation, and progress feels slower when you're the only one carrying the load. That's exactly why I created the free Simple Money Systems private Facebook community. This isn't a place for perfection or polished numbers. It's a safe space, a judgment-free zone, a room full of moms who are in real life, raising kids, managing special needs, juggling responsibilities, and still choosing to take small steps toward financial peace. And inside the community, you'll see wins that feel encouraging, struggles that feel familiar, and aha moments that remind you you're not behind because you're learning. And this is where you can ask the questions you've been holding in, share the victory that feels too small to celebrate anywhere else, and get support on the days when staying consistent feels hard. And because staying on track is so much easier when you're surrounded by people who truly get it. And friend, you deserve support while you're evicting debt, rebuilding peace, and creating a future that feels lighter for you and your family. Now, let's wrap this episode together. Let's bring this home. Friend, today we talked about simplifying money with a 2-line budget. Then about tracking only what matters, monthly bills and daily purchases. And then about creating clarity with quick daily check-ins. And then building habits that fit real life, not ideal life. And then we talked about turning debt from scary to solvable. And the last but not least, surrounding yourself with support. And if you learned one thing today, just one, that you can apply to your life, then this episode did its job. And friend, if this episode helped you take even one step toward peace, hope, or confidence with your finances, I would be so grateful if you'd leave a written review on a Simple Money Systems Apple podcast. Because your review helps other exceptional moms find the help and encouragement they're searching for, maybe right when they need it the most. And before you go, ask yourself, what's one thing I learned today that I can implement this week? And please don't forget to sign up for a weekly savings plan. Send me an email to diana@dianagalas.com to add you to the list. Friend, hold on to what you learned today. And I want you to remember that you're not behind. You are building step by step. And I'm so glad you're here with me on this journey. I'm glad you joined me today. And if this episode lifted some weight off your shoulders, pass that lightness on to another woman who could use it too. Make sure to follow the Simple Money Systems podcast so each week you receive the clarity, peace, and direction your life is craving. You're doing better than you think. Truly. Keep going and keep leading your money, not chasing it. This is where your clarity grows, your confidence builds, and your new financial story begins. One week, one step, and one win at a time.